Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ben here, and I'm coming at you with a video really quick just because I just got the news that Jimmy Butler has been traded to the Philadelphia 76ers, which is quite a shock. The official trade is Jimmy Butler and Justin Patton in exchange for Dario Saric and Robert Covington. So there's a little bit to dissect here as far as both teams go. As far as Philadelphia, I really like the trade. They get a legit third star. I feel like now that they have him, they can really be a threat in the East along with Toronto and Boston. I think they're right on their level now. He really just adds a dimension of the team that I've been talking about in the past that they've been lacking, which is a guy that can create his own shot, and he can score from the inside, from the outside. He's a good option for them. Their lineup after this trade will look like something like Fultz at the 1, Jimmy at the 2, Ben Simmons at the 3, or well, there's actually a lot of options for what they can do, but what they might do is Fultz at the 1, Redick at the 2, Butler at the 3, Ben Simmons at the 4, Embiid at the 5. They could also mess around and maybe put Wilson Chandler in the starting lineup and have JJ Redick or Fultz as a 6th man, but either way, Jimmy Butler's on that team. I think that they're going to be the 2 or the 3 seed, obviously. I think most people thought that already. I think this solidifies them as at least the 3 seed, though, if not higher. And I don't see why they can't be as good as Boston or Toronto at this point. Honestly, they have the team, and Butler adds a new dimension to them that I think will really improve them, and I like a lot. As far as Minnesota goes, they get Saric and Covington back, who neither player is nearly as good as Jimmy Butler. I will admit that right away. Both are essentially role players. I think both are solid starters, though. I think the starting lineup for Minnesota after this trade looks like Jeff Green at the 1, Andrew Wiggins at the shooting guard, Robert Covington at the small forward, Dario Saric at the 4, and Karl-Anthony Towns at the 5. With a bench of Derrick Rose and Taj Gibson, Gorgui Dieng, and Josh Okogie. That being said, though, I like this trade for Minnesota as well. They don't get a player comparable to Butler back, but they do improve in a few areas in that they get a lot better as far as shooting and spacing go. I'll just look at some stats here quick. Last year for Philly, Dario Saric scored about 15 points a game, and he shot 39% from 3, which is really good. And from the field overall, he shot 45%, which is pretty average, right in the middle, what you want. So I like him a lot. He's doing a little bit worse this year, but it may just be a slow start, so hopefully he improves from that for the Timberwolves. And then for Robert Covington, he's a guy who for his career averages around 13 points a game. And last year he shot 37% from 3. And he made the All-NBA defensive team, which not a lot of people know, but yes, he was on the All-NBA defensive team. He's long, he's 6'8", 6'9", and has a really long wingspan. And this year, he's actually shooting 39% from 3, so really a 3-and-D type player. A good comp for him, if you're not familiar with Robert Covington, would be like Trevor Ariza. He's a pretty similar player to Robert Covington. So yeah, I like this trade for Minnesota too. They get the space, they get better spacing, and that really they didn't have much spacing with this team because Teague has an all-right jump shot, not great. Wiggins and Butler, same thing, like all-right jump shot, not great. Cat has a good jump shot, but he's a center, so his three-point shot should be relatively limited. Taj Gibson has no outside shot. Derrick Rose, not really much, like a really average to mediocre outside shooter. But then you bring in basically 2 good outside shooters in these guys, and I think that's going to help this team space the floor a lot. Wiggins' primary offense is driving to the hoop, so it frees up lanes for him because defenses can't sag off of Saric and Covington on the wings. It also opens up space down low for Cat to work in the paint. And so, yeah, I like it for them. I don't think it's a terrible trade for Minnesota, honestly. Jimmy Butler this season, going to Philly, has been averaging 21 points a game. He's also been shooting 38% from 3, which is the best for his career. And he's shooting 47% from the field, which is pretty good, throwing in 5 rebounds and 4 assists a game. So again, I think this brings Philly up to being like a powerhouse in the Eastern Conference. Equal with anybody. I don't think you can claim anyone's better than them. I hope for the sake of things working out, that Jimmy is able to mesh with these young guys better than the young guys in Minnesota, just because I think we'd all like to see this be successful, because it could be a really cool big three and a really potent and effective big three. And as for the Philly, again, they're going to get a little bit more of a, I'm trying to figure out how to word this exactly, but they'll alleviate offensive pressure on Simmons to shoot from the outside, in that they have Jimmy Butler, who can shoot from the outside, as a primary ball handler too. Like, if Jimmy Butler starts the offense, he's a threat from the outside more than Simmons, so people will actually have to check him from out there a bit more. They can't just totally sag off. I hope that this also basically just helps Embiid a little bit more too, in that if you have another offensive weapon on the floor to Butler's level, that's going to attract more defensive attention, and people won't be able to pay as much attention to Simmons and Embiid. So I hope that this helps their offense, in that I feel like before this trade, it was basically like, focus all your attention on Embiid or all your attention on Simmons, because the other three guys on the court, while they might be decent, they're not going to give you 25 a night. So you might give them one shot that's open, but you don't have to worry about them consistently outscoring you. Whereas now, it's really hard to manage a court when three guys are really big offensive threats, as has been proven by the Miami Heat in 2012, the Golden State Warriors with Clay, Steph, and Durant, and any number of other teams. So this is like the big three that you always want for a team. You always want a big three, it seems like, and that's what Philly got. And I think that they'll be really successful this season. And they've had a somewhat slow start, but I think that they'll be able to improve and get better. And I think that Butler will be a really good positive impact on the team. Or actually, okay, what I mean by that is that he'll be a positive impact on their play, but I'm not sure if he'll be a positive locker room impact. I'm hoping that a big personality and a domineering personality like Embiid can sort of neutralize whatever negativity Jimmy may potentially bring to the team. There has been rumors of a sort of a rift and a divide, that Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid don't like each other. Hopefully Jimmy Butler doesn't further that. Hopefully it sort of like distracts from that, and they all just band together now that he's there, and they try a little bit harder. We'll have to see. The locker room presence should be a little bit, morale will be a little bit better when he gets there, but we'll have to see how much their game improves, because if they don't see a dramatic improvement in wins, then maybe the locker room will really deteriorate. We'll have to watch that and see what happens. As for Minnesota's morale, I see it being a lot higher. I think that they're getting two guys in there that are pretty hard workers, and they're willing to take a back seat to Wiggins and Cat. That was a big problem in Minnesota, is that Butler wasn't willing to be the second option. Because I think you can say that Butler's at his prime right now, in that he is the best he's ever going to be right now, whereas Cat is about an equal level player to him right now, but Cat's just scratching the surface of what he's going to be. So, like, at the end of their careers, people will look back and say Karl Anthony Towns was the better player, but it's hard because right now Butler sees himself as an equal or a superior to Cat, so he wasn't really willing to take the back seat. But now I think it's going to be a clear pecking order of Karl Anthony Towns first for scoring, then Wiggins, then probably Derrick Rose, then like a combination of Teague, Covington, and Saric. So that's my take on this. I hope that you guys found this video a little informative if you don't know about the whole situation. So yeah, Jimmy Butler is a 76er, and Covington and Saric are Timberwolves. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments any other news updates you hear about this if you want to comment, and I hope you guys have a good day. Bye.